high pressure power steering line. They'll get pinholes in it. They operate at very high PSI, and basically they'll spray directly on the exhaust, and ATF fluid ignites real quickly, and that's one of the main causes of fires on 928s. And yours is original,
Oh, it is
and it's got cracks.
Oh, look at the state of it.
All through it.
Oh my Lord.
There were hoses in Tutankhamun's tomb which didn't look that bad.
Yep.
That will cause a fire.
On a flatbed.
Just take it home nice and gently.
I have been driving it gently, by the way. You'll see the video. I took it for a 100-mile drive.
Did you?
Gee, I wish you didn't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like cars burning.
If you've ever held up traffic with a broken down Porsche, as I did once years ago, people can be quite sympathetic to your plight and the financial stress that will inevitably follow. You'll often hear words of encouragement, usually, "Buy a Holden, you dickhead." Last week, Bruce and Sean checked my oil, torque tube, flex plate and thrust bearing, and it was all good news. Huzzah! Huzzah! So far, Champy, that's her name, is in pretty good nick for her age. Well, I'd expect that, as Prince Harry and Scarlett Johansson were born in the same year, also pushing 40, and they're in pretty good nick too. But don't think that's the end of the story. No. No. There's a lot more that needs to be done. So let's find out all the things the Buchanans say need to be done so Champy doesn't spontaneously combust, leave me stranded again, or simply forsake this godforsaken world for no particular reason. Good morning, Bruce.
Morning, Stewie.
G'day. Oh, clean as a whistle.
Yep.
Look, over there, you wouldn't believe it, there's a GTS engine.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
What's that going in?
Our GTS.
Now talk to me about my 928. What's the plan of attack?
Looks pretty good. Body-wise looks pretty good. The maintenance on the cam belt and poly belts on the front look a bit old.
Do they?
Yeah. You can actually hear them when we turn the engine over.
Actually, have a look at the alignment on the air conditioner.
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know. Can you tell me?
We're going to find out.
Something's broken. I say the compressor.
Somebody's fabricated that?
Oh yeah.
And
that doesn't come to the factory.
No, I didn't think so. It just looked
They've
too...
done a good job. They've put a bit of work into it. Like, something's gone terribly wrong. It's unfortunate, but they're gone, shit, that's the best we can do. No, that'll do.
Yeah. Because that belt's not running very true, is it?
Not running true at all, no.
It's just nice to see one that's not seeping oil all over the place. Having said that, you'll now spot a whole lot of oil seeping all over the place.
Bad. You've got a little power steering one, which is coming out of there.
Yeah.
You can see it dripping just here.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see.
Now the other thing you got here as well is going into the, could be the original radiator, is the automatic lines still going in there. Now we do delete them and we only use the oil cooler at the front, you can see just here.
Yes.
Because of?
So as soon as that heat exchanger on there fails, water goes straight in the automatic, and all the bands in the automatic are held together with water-based glue, which basically means within an hour of use, it's gone, and you need to rebuild the whole thing. So we bypass the radiator and go straight to this one here, and then you'll have no more problems with any water.
Is there enough cooling effect happening from just this one?
Absolutely. Yep. There's no problem at all. Yep. So.
Okay. Said with such conviction, I believe you. Ironically, it's the 911 owners with their VW heritage who often used to say the 928 isn't a real Porsche. The Porsche 928 was the first clean sheet of paper design by Porsche for its own model. So it's a real Porsche. But the internals of the automatic transmission are one part that Porsche borrowed from, of all people, Mercedes-Benz. Porsche did not have the resources to design one from scratch, so they borrowed the internals from the robust V8 Mercs of the day. Porsche clearly left nothing to chance and somewhat over-engineered the cooling system, with separate oil heat exchangers for engine oil and transmission oil attached to the sides of the radiator. Brilliant design, so the water that heats up quickly puts heat into the oils, and if the engine coolant gets too hot, the oil heat exchangers can take some heat out of the boiling coolant. Ingenious for 1970. Sadly, as the cars get old, the barrier between the fluids collapses, the fluids mix, and the destruction that follows is sudden and expensive, and often unnoticed until it's too late. This is more of an issue with automatics than with manuals, but in this country, the vast majority were automatics. I like the fact that you're not rushed here. You're not trying to... It's just you and your dad, and you just take your time.
Yep. Look, it's a hobby for us as well. We enjoy what we do, and we're lucky we get to do this sort of stuff. So we don't have to rush through work. We don't have to pump stuff out.
Boxsters and things. I love the Boxster and
Yeah.
the Cayman and stuff. But if your auto tranny shits itself in one of those, you can't pull it apart and get on some tiny
Can't do
little
anything.
circlip.
No, which is a bit of a shame. So we treat them like, we tell our customers, when you buy one of them, treat it as if it's a rent car. And if it lasts you 3 or 4 years and you have no problems and you go to sell it, you've won. If something goes wrong, it could cost a lot of money. But whereas these things, most of the parts are still available.
Speaking as one who's owned air-cooled, water-cooled, front engine, mid-engine
Yeah.
and rear engine Porsches,
You've done every single one of them.
I know how much fun they all are.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's funny, I've ended up back with a 928
Back with
again.
your third one, isn't it?
This is my third 928.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you spoken about the pre-pump yet?
No, we stopped using pre-pumps about 20 years ago
Yeah.
because they actually come apart.
I know.
And there's no warning.
No.
And that's why Porsche supplies the pre-filter. It's got a 928 part number
Yep.
and
Which has a mesh inside
it's got a long mesh.
prevents anything going into the main pump.
Lots and lots of surface
Yeah.
area. And it's light. Whereas the pre-pump, it's got a bit of weight to it. And it just simply sits on a bit of plastic and under G-force it just wants to wobble around. And then the hose that connects to it, which is short and fat, it's not even reinforced. They just snap.
Yep.
No warnings, no lights in dashboard, the car's still going.
Yep.
And then a bit of crack goes through. Because remember, the main filter is after the pump.
Yep.
That means a bit of something goes into the main. Say a bit of lint from a shirt, for example. Something mundane. We'll go into the pump, get in the Rolls high-speed pump. Whoop. That's where you stop. We've had quite a few of those over the years.
Yeah.
So we stopped using pre-pumps. And they're
Mine had
expensive.
failed.
Oh yeah, they fail, they can stop, they can see. They usually seize, but often we get them out in like 2 pieces.
Yep.
And they're usually the ones that get towed in, because the main pump sees. Why is the main pump sees? Because it's jammed up with something, and it's jammed up because there's no pre-filter.
Yeah.
Luckily, Porsche made the pre-filters, and they made more of those than they did pre-pumps.
Yeah. So even though yours is new, I'd still recommend
At some
taking
stage.
that out
At some stage.
and just putting the screen in instead, and you'll have no problems. You know.
How about the fuel lines in here?
And by the looks of it, you have an original fuel line down there. So no one's ever touched it. So if I, yeah, this is the feed in. If I can pop this back. See this hose just here?
Yes.
Where it just goes down and actually runs down the side of the exhaust.
Yep.
There's a flexible hose, and
Yep.
that's the original.
So
Never been done.
There's also one at the back as well.
Yeah.
There's a couple at the back of the fuel rails, and there's one return at
So
the back.
potential failure?
Oh yeah, they just burst.
Yep. And then the fuel goes somewhere
Everywhere.
where it shouldn't go?
It usually ignites.
Yeah.
On the
Usually.
exit.
And one other thing we'll look at as well, which is a very common failure, and this is one of the things that burns 928s to the ground, is the high pressure power steering line. They'll get pinholes in it, they operate at very high PSI, and basically they'll spray directly on the exhaust, and ATF fluid ignites real quickly. And that's one of the main causes of fires on 928s. And yours is original,
Oh, it is too?
and it's got cracks
Oh, look at the state of it.
all through it.
Oh my lord.
Okay.
How did that stay there?
So it's a power steering line.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so that's definitely something you want to get in and
I wouldn't be knowing the age of the candle stuff and that and the fuel hose. I'd be taking it back home and not using it until we can do something about it.
I speculated earlier on that I thought you might say that. The story would be, oh my God, don't even think about
Don't drive
driving
it.
there.
It's only preventive because I don't want it to burn to the ground.
yeah.
Have it in the middle of the harbour tunnel with the
Oh, wouldn't
928
that be
on
like
fire.
burning? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you make some new friends?
I'd certainly meet new people if I escape the inferno.
One more thing, Stu. Do you have a fire extinguisher in the car?
No.
Okay. Well, do you want to just take this one until you get one? Because
Do you want me to buy it, or
no, we'll just lend it to you, and then when you come in next time, you can just exchange it for your own one, just so
Okay.
that in case anything happens.
you're that concerned? Are you?
Yes. yeah. That power steering hose. That worries me a little bit.
I'll go and buy one.
Cool. That's all right. I do want to have a look at the cam belt, but I'm also afraid to look at it because these hoses are so old
Yep.
that I'm afraid if we get in here too much,
Yep.
it might cause one to pop or crack.
Which-
We just need to find out what the age is and
Yeah.
and where that's about.
Because I've just noticed there is a sticker here
Yeah.
which says the cam belt was done at 243,000 K. That's only 80,000 K away. Fantastic. Except the bad news,
Oh, too.
2002. That's 20 years ago.
That's a long time.
Going on
It's a
20
They
very
don't
long
last
time.
that long. That
No,
can't
no,
be
no,
true.
no.
No.
Well, it might be. We have seen him do it. And if you undo a cam belt, you normally take that off.
Yes.
You get my drift?
You'd replace it.
We
With
just
a-
get,
with a
we
label.
at least take it off.
Yeah.
okay, because it takes 2 seconds to take it off.
Yep.
So it makes me feel that it probably has not been done.
So just leave the car here,
It's only
pick it up and this time next
we
year.
don't have time. We've got too much other work to do. So I've got nowhere to store it, so no.
Take it away.
No. Now, if this was an Italian supercar,
Yes.
this would have burnt in the first 5 years of life, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it in a derogatory sense. It's just what they do.
It's solid. It's all there, which is good, and mostly original as well, which is, you know, it's nice to see. It hasn't been too. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But for the moment, we want to stop the car from, well, we're trying to keep the reliability up, that's all. You know? And they can be really reliable. You just do things to make sure they're reliable.
Yeah. So there's your air mass meter out of your car. There you go.
Yep.
Calibrated. What date was that? 21.
21.
Yeah. So not that long ago at all.
Okay, so that's when the service happened in Melbourne.
Yeah. Yep. So a few bits were replaced, which was good. So
That was a $15,000 invoice. So they did a few things.
That's just a normal invoice for a 928, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Just going to see if I can pop the one of the front covers back a little bit. I'm really keen to see what sort of condition the cam belt's in.
Yeah.
Because again, if that thing goes, it's bad.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. There you can see the cam belt, and you can see a little bit of wear on the cam gears as well. We can't see too much, but the aluminium cam gears can. Do these 85s?
Aluminium.
Yeah, they can
Round
wear,
trip.
and basically they've got like an anodizing on the front of them.
Yep.
And once that comes off, that starts eating into the belt even more,
Yep.
and deteriorates it quicker and quicker.
Yep.
So, but really, that'll be a case of when we get in there, or when someone gets in there.
If it needs it, we'll
You
just
can't actually see under the teeth there at all, can
No,
you?
no, completely covered.
No, that's
But I was curious to see on top here to see if we had any cracks forming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that belt might be 20 years old?
I think that's been done. I think it has anyway. I don't know. It's got some shadowing in it, so you can see the teeth through
There's
it.
a bit of shattering.
But I mean,
But there's no real. Sometimes we see, like minor cracking on the backside of the belt. Like minor. I'm talking really small. So it's hard to say. Right.
All right. Investigation done.
yeah. You need to know what the age is. They last 5 years, 50,000
But we
Ks.
don't know, and I've got no way of knowing, so we're
Exactly.
just going to have to do it.
You're going to have to do it. So paint looks good, bodywork straight. Not much corrosion on the car, is there?
No. I think it was a country car for many, many years.
Yeah.
And it did all its mileage early on. It looks like for the last 20 years it's done bugger all mileage.
Yeah, okay. Has it been painted at all?
I don't think so.
That's another thing with the country cars as well. You usually get the stone chips.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to have that.
No.
Not to the degree that, there's small little ones,
Clear
but
coat there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real common.
There's not much you can do. You've got to paint the whole door.
You do. Yep. That happens also on the rear windows as well. You can get it sitting in
Yes.
a little tiny bit. Just clips have rusted away, which I think you've seen before in your earlier cars where they crack just in here.
Yeah. And
age.
and this is completely given up.
Yep.
That's all.
Now you can buy those liners. Now the reason these break as well is because the rear hatch mechanism, if you use the key, they'll never break. But
Yep.
because when you use a mechanism and the amount of the force it creates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always
Pass
put pressure on and use the key.
Perfect. Yeah.
Original cassette player.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It sounds shit and I'm not going to use it.
Okay. This is vinyl cover.
Yep.
You glue them from underneath, so you never put glue on the top section. But you glue that back down. It'll look almost like new. Almost.
The interior's pretty good, isn't
It
it?
is pretty good.
Pretty straight.
Redone?
Well, Bruce has said so. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's had some love, this car, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about air conditioning yet because it's not really a priority.
Yeah, but we'll get there with that. We do our own little. These cars are really set up for air conditioning as well, so they work very well. You know that.
I had that on the last one.
Yeah, yeah,
Cost me a bomb.
yeah.
But it worked. You
But
did
they
everything.
last.
Receiver, dryer, all the
We
seals,
always
condensers.
do. Yeah, we do all the lines.
Cost me about $5,000 last time.
Yeah.
And all the little relays in the control panel.
Yep.
You put.
Yeah, and all the vacuum leaks underneath the dash as well. Sort all them out, so the heater's not coming on, which yours probably would be, right?
Yeah, the heater comes on.
It does. Yeah.
How did you know that?
There they all do it.
Bruce drove the car, agreed with me that it had very little power, and said it was very, very, very lean, which is probably why the guys in Melbourne had fitted the new air mass meter. But that doesn't necessarily fix the problem.
Because they would have realised, God, this thing's running lean.
Yeah.
And that would have helped. Because it was probably even worse still. You know what I mean?
There's another reason for it running lean, though, isn't there? Which we haven't discussed yet.
The lovely old D-jet injectors.
Which are probably original.
Now, You're probably going to wonder,
Absolutely.
why did I say D-Jet?
D-Jet, aren't they?
That's from 1970.
Oh, yeah? That's like 50 years ago.
And they were cutting edge in the day. Remember, electronic injectors, a la 1970, 71, 72. Oh my Lord, it was just sensational. And these are literally a throwback. That's why we've got the fuel hoses and the weights. And see this here, that's actually see this little metal bracket? That's actually a D-Jet part number. And the seal that goes, well, the buffer seal inside it, they're all D-Jet. And they're actually a bit of a part spin special.
Yeah.
And Bosch really put the effort in on the 86 and onwards with modern fuel rails and modern injectors. You can see they put the money into that.
Yep.
This was like, this will do for the moment.
Do you know anyone that's got access to better injectors that we could put in?
It's Chinese ones out there.
Are they any good?
I don't
What would you
use
put in
them.
if you were replacing the injectors in this car?
Let's call them, a company called VDO made a range of injectors some years ago. They're
Video-
no longer available.
Video Siemens.
VDO Siemens, yeah.
But if they're not available, can you get some? Can you get me some?
Got them in stock.
Yep,
Is that true?
absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah.
So you've got a choice of
We bought a whole bunch of
Chinese.
them.
And are they better than the other?
They are absolutely fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
nothing wrong with China. It sounds awful.
I know,
But
a lot of good things coming. Tesla's come out of China now. They're
Exactly.
fantastic.
Yep.
You love Teslas,
But
don't you?
what I'm saying is, okay, and it's up to the owner. So if the owner wants to buy Chinese injectors, that's perfectly fine.
Yep.
I have no problems with that because it's not my car.
But
I can
buy,
own-
but
I
buy
can-
2 sets.
Well, probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yep.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And in a way, it's good because at least you can get something. You know what I mean? Because if we're having this conversation, let's say, even 3 years ago, the only place I knew that we can get injectors, they just happen to be really nice ones, is the VDO ones that we got, luckily. We were very lucky to get them because they don't have them anymore.
Basically a modified top, so we put our own hoses on it. And that's the injectors there, the new ones. That's the VDO ones. Yep.
And you've managed to corner a market on
We
those.
did. There was about 6 sets left, so we bought all of them.
And I'm getting one.
You're gonna get one.
How lucky am I?
You're gonna be impressed. Like when I thought, injectors, but when you drive it, adds torque everywhere. It's really good.
Do you think that'll help the way this car runs?
Absolutely dramatic. The difference would be biblical.
Biblical.
It is absolutely true. Yeah.
And the other reason I haven't mentioned being an 84, I'll just double check the 84 engine number or engine letter, is because the 84 had higher compression as opposed to the 85. Okay, so it's an 80. So it's 84. Now for Australia, and I think Sweden and another country, this is not widely known, but the 85, remember these are running on leaded fuel, and we had very low octane leaded fuel in the mid 80s.
That we also
now,
reviewed.
what Porsche fitted, and they did it the correct way. They were worried about engines pinging and stuff. Remember, there's no knock sensors, there's nothing like that. And also, you can't turn the distributor, you can't change the timing. You might be able to reprogram the ignition to computers, but that wasn't available at the time. So we're talking 1984 here. So what Porsche did, they did the right thing. They put lower compression pistons in the 85. Remember, we had nothing to go by because we didn't have premium unleaded. We didn't even have unleaded. We only had one fuel. And I was used to all cars pinging.
Rattle, rattle, rattle.
Rattle, rattle, rattle. Ping, ping, ping. So what Porsche did, they put lower compression pistons in for the 85 model. And that fixed the pinging
Yep.
on shit fuel.
Yep.
So Stu, you can see the back here as well. We've got some fuel hoses. Obviously, we looked at the one on the exhaust side that we'll need to be doing.
Yep.
And we've got one just here from one of the regulators.
Oh, yeah.
This one is the return hose. So they're all original, and you got one more just here.
Okay.
The speed sensor, which is just here, the reference sensor,
good idea.
that has actually been changed, which is good. They usually just fall apart and just crumble, and that'll stop the engine from moving at all.
Okay.
So that's one thing. So at least that's been done. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
There's the heater tap just sitting at the back there.
It's old too.
Yep. So that'll leak a little bit on the inside. The valves inside that, even if you've got good vacuum, they can still
But at least internally.
just get a bit average.
Okay. This car doesn't seem to be riding much lower than that one beside it, but you said it was pretty low.
It's extremely low. It's probably 5 centimetres lower in the front than what it should be. So you do have adjusters, which you can see here on the back, and they're about right in the middle. The rear didn't look too bad, but if we go up to the front, so there's your adjuster
Yeah.
right there, and it is wound all the way down. So we've certainly got some room to bump that up.
Okay. So somebody's lowered this car.
They have, yeah. Someone's been up there and
Weird. They normally sag. You should go the other way.
yeah, it's definitely down.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, look, nice new tie rod there.
Yeah, with rusty tie rod ends.
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating how the factory tie rods, they don't come with painted tie rod ends?
Ah.
The bump stops are gone as well, and the gator boots are just hanging there,
Oh, yeah.
not doing much. but-
Okay. All right. But at least we can put the ride height up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the 12-volt harness.
Yeah, yeah.
Basically goes from starter alternator up to the top of the car, unfused, so it's quite a big wire.
Yeah.
And they can be another little cause of fires on 928s.
Yeah.
Because
That runs through.
the insulation can deteriorate,
If that
particularly up the top as well. And I'll show you a little bit later on where it connects up.
Right.
And you can see where it comes through the chassis just around about just here, comes forward, goes to the alternator, and then pops up. And the problem is, I mean, as you can see where it's sitting here, that's right next to the exhaust.
Yep.
So it's less than 10 centimeters away from it. So you've got to protect it best you can.
Because of that shorts, that's bad things happen.
Bad things. You let all the smoke out.
Right? And where should the smoke be? Inside?
Inside the wires.
It's not terribly bad.
You did all right. I think you did very well.
Really?
For an auction car.
Yeah, did really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I got lucky basically because I didn't inspect it. And that's,
Wow.
all I'd seen is photos.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought, Australian delivered car, interior looks good, that's a good measure. If the interior looks pretty tidy, that's the first thing. But this is going better than I thought.
That's good.
It's not going to cost me any money to do all this, is it?
Oh, look, I can't see it being costing anything more than X.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
They're your major things. They're the things I'd concentrate on first off.
Okay.
And get out of the way.
Trust the torque tube is in good shape.
That's good. Yeah, there's no problems there.
Cool.
Auto looks really dry at the back. Overall, pretty good. Very good.
All right.
You're doing well.
Just a few essentials.
Yeah.
Righto. When can you book me in?
2025.
What month?
We'll have a look and see what suits. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So in the meantime, I'll be driving around.
Will you?
Well, no, it's a weekend car. It's a weekend car.
Okay. Good. Good.
So.
Yeah, I don't want you to drive it too much. Not yet.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for being on inCARnation today. inCARnation, the world's best YouTube channel. Brucey, so nice to see you again, champion.
That's a good name, mate.
You like that?
That's really good.
Mark Williamson, you're very clever.
You're very good. That's good, but it makes sense too.
It kind of does.
That's really good.
Except people, you say, I'd like to talk to you about inCARnation and think, oh God, it's another religious
I
nut.
see, yeah.
You know.
Yeah,